Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast and giving us that valuable perspective into the issue. Meanwhile, the MEA is holding a press briefing on Prime Minister's visit to Ethiopia. Let's cut across.
We welcome all of you to this special press briefing by Secretary ER Sri Sudhakar Talela on the ongoing bilateral visit of Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi to Ethiopia. As you all know, for us, Ethiopia is a very important partner in the global south, and a lot on this visit has been focused as to how we can strengthen this partnership further, not just for ourselves, but also for the larger community in the global south as well. We are also joined by our ambassador to Ethiopia, Sri Anil Rai, and Joint Secretary ISA in the Ministry of External Affairs, Sri Janesh Kain. With that, I invite Secretary ER for his initial remarks, after which we can take some questions from the floor. Sir, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Randir, and good morning, everyone. As you are aware, Prime Minister Modi is on his first bilateral visit to Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia at the invitation of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali. Prime Minister arrived in Addis Ababa yesterday evening and was received very warmly at the airport by Prime Minister Dr. Abe. Prime Minister Abe drove Prime Minister Modi directly to National Science Museum and Friendship Park in the city. Later, Prime Minister was accorded ceremonial welcome at the National Palace, where he inspected the Guard of Honor. Subsequently, the two leaders met in one-to-one format, followed by delegation-level talks and banquet hosted by Prime Minister Abe. The two leaders had productive and wide-ranging discussions where they reviewed the full spectrum of the bilateral partnership. Both sides agreed to further expand cooperation in areas including trade and investment, agriculture, renewable energy, health, education, skill development, defense, mining, artificial intelligence, and digital public infrastructure. In the context of food security and health security, Prime Minister Modi expressed and conveyed India's readiness to share our own development experience in the area of agri-technology, natural farming, digital health, and how we are leveraging technology for better health services to our people, traditional medicine, and he said that India would be happy to work with Ethiopia in these areas in the coming months. Prime Minister thanked Prime Minister Abe for Ethiopia's strong support in our common fight against terrorism in all its manifestation. The two leaders witnessed the exchange of several MOUs in diverse areas such as customs cooperation, training for peacekeeping missions, establishment of a data center at the Ethiopian Foreign Office. During their meeting, the two leaders decided to elevate the bilateral partnership to a strategic partnership, marking a whole new chapter in our bilateral engagement with Ethiopia. This elevation further solidifies our collective commitment to work even more closely in areas of mutual interest. At the meeting, the two leaders reaffirmed their commitment toward bilateral development cooperation. For decades, as you know, Indian teachers have been significantly contributing to Ethiopia's education sector. In this vein, it was agreed to further deepen cooperation in the field of education, skilling, and capacity building. India would be happy to organize special short-term courses in the field of artificial intelligence under the ITEC program for Ethiopia. Prime Minister Modi also announced doubling of the number of ICCR scholarship offered annually to Ethiopian students to study in India. Similarly, in the field of healthcare, it was conveyed that India was ready to partner with Mahatma Gandhi Hospital in augmenting its capacity through supply of equipment and provisioning of training programs, especially in the areas of maternal and neonatal health, emergency medicine, and trauma care. During his interaction with Prime Minister Dr. Abe, Prime Minister Modi expressed satisfaction at the growing participation of Indian companies, Indian private sector, in Ethiopia's economic transformation, particularly in the areas of manufacturing and pharmaceutical sector. The two leaders reaffirmed that India and Ethiopia stood united in advancing a more inclusive, equitable, rule-based global order the two countries reaffirmed their commitment to work together on global matters of mutual importance and to amplify the voice of Global South. Prime Minister Modi conveyed India's support to Ethiopia's accession process at the WTO, as well as membership to the new development bank. As all of you know, Ethiopia has recently joined the BRICS grouping, and as I mentioned, India has been consistent supporter of Ethiopia's bid to join as borrowing member to the new development bank. At the meeting, Prime Minister Modi underscored India's abiding commitment toward the wider African continent and commitment to work together in the spirit of South-South cooperation, including within the framework of India-Africa Forum Summit. Prime Minister Modi lauded the positive contribution of the members of the Indian community in Ethiopia, who for decades have served as the living bridge between our two countries. At a special ceremony organized at the Addis International Convention Center last evening, Prime Minister Modi received Ethiopia's highest award, the Great Honor Nishan of Ethiopia, from Prime Minister Abe. Prime Minister Modi dedicated the award to all those Indians and Ethiopians who have nurtured the bilateral ties for ages and conveyed heartfelt gratitude on behalf of 1.4 billion people of India. This morning, the Prime Minister will be addressing the joint session of the Ethiopian Parliament, and he looks forward to his interaction with the Speaker of the Parliament and other distinguished leaders. He will also be visiting Adwa Museum, pay respects and lay wreath at the Adwa Victory Monument. Prime Minister Modi has also invited Prime Minister Abe to participate in the AI Impact Summit scheduled to be held in India in February next year, as also the BRICS Summit that we propose to host next year in India. As all of you know, from 1st January 2026, India will assume chairship of the BRICS grouping for 1 year. You would have seen two press releases on PM's engagement issued last evening, as well as Prime Minister's remark on the occasion of the conferment of highest award on him by Prime Minister Abe. You have seen the visuals emerging from various engagement, meetings, welcome ceremony, which clearly indicate the warm personal connect between the two leaders. With these words, I will be happy to respond to any questions that you may have about the ongoing visit. Thank you.
Thank you. The floor is open now. We can go from the left, please. Please do introduce yourself.
Sir, I am Sushil Chandra Tiwari from All India Radio News. My question is, sir, कि दोनों देशों के बीच जो शिक्षक हैं, जो टीचर हैं, उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले किया है पिछले कई दशकों में. तो अब जो कल बातचीत हुई है, उसके बाद हम जो एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में किस तरीके से अपने सहयोग को बढ़ाने जा रहे हैं. और दूसरा, if you can allow me to ask one more question. The second thing is what the impact of this elevation of bilateral ties to strategic partnership is going to impact both countries.
ठीक है. More question? Please. Here.
सर 3 MOU साइन, मैं अश्विनी मिश्रा डीडी न्यूज से 3 MOU साइन हुए हैं. उनमें से सर एक डेट रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग इन द रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ इथियोपिया अंडर द G20 कॉमन फ्रेमवर्क, इसमें कैसे इथियोपिया की वित्तीय सहायता सुनिश्चित की जा सकेगी?
We have a question there.
I'm Deepika from DD India, sir. When we talk about the elevation of bilateral ties to strategic levels, what would be the next steps to implement the same?
We have a question behind. Sorry.
Thank you. This is Girma from Ethiopian News Agency. My question is, what expected from this visit as the two countries as members of BRICS to further strengthen the Global South cooperation? Finally, how will India support African voice and leadership in global governance, including reform of international institutions as well as the representation of Africa at international global?
We have a question here.
Rishabh Singh this side from INS News Agency. My question is, what role Indian private sector will play to strengthening a strategic partnership?
Sir.
Thank you very much for these questions. I would like to answer these questions in the order that these were raised. There were some overlapping questions also. The first question was regarding the role of Indian teachers जो हमारे भारतीय शिक्षक जहाँ इथियोपिया में उन्होंने काम किया है, उस हम पार्टनरशिप को कैसे आगे बढ़ाएंगे। जैसे मैंने बोला कि आप किसी भी यहाँ पे इथियोपियन लीडर से मिलते हैं तो वो बताते हैं कि किस तरीके से भारतीय अध्यापकों ने यहाँ पे कंट्रीब्यूट किया है एजुकेशन सेक्टर में। तो हमारी जो इथियोपिया से एजुकेशन पार्टनरशिप है वो काफ़ी मजबूत है। हम इथियोपिया के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए काफ़ी स्कॉलरशिप प्रोग्राम में इनको एडमिशन देते हैं हायर एजुकेशन में, और यहाँ पर इथियोपिया में काफ़ी रुचि है कि वो भारत में आके पढ़ाई करें। तो उसको देखते हुए प्रधानमंत्री ने जो हमारे स्कॉलरशिप के स्लॉट्स हैं इथियोपिया के लिए उसको डबल करने का अनाउंस किया है। हमारा एक आईटेक प्रोग्राम है, जैसे मालूम है आपको, उसमें भी इथियोपिया से बहुत ही ऑफिशियल्स, स्टूडेंट, प्रोफेशनल्स आते हैं। तकरीबन पिछले 10 सालों में तकरीबन 3000 लोग इथियोपिया से आए हैं आईटेक प्रोग्राम में फॉर स्किल डेवलपमेंट। सो दोनों मिला के स्कॉलरशिप प्रोग्राम और आईटेक प्रोग्राम जो हमारे हैं इंडिया के, उसमें इथियोपिया बहुत ही मजबूत भागीदार रहा है। और आगे के महीनों में और वर्षों में हम चाहेंगे कि इथियोपिया की तरफ से और बच्चे और स्टूडेंट्स भारत में पढ़ने आए। There were 2 questions regarding strategic partnership that both the leaders have announced, the elevation of bilateral relationship to strategic partnership and what it entails in actual terms and what both governments will do to realize this strategic partnership. I think elevation of the ties to strategic partnership comes in the backdrop of a very warm, friendly and mutually beneficial cooperation that we have enjoyed.
All right, we're shifting focus now to